one of Nitro National Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tonight's gonna be a real good race, and you noticed the different voice completing this tonight. I am James Ellison, Superstar Series driver, and the new Turbo Truck Series director, alongside my fellow new director of for the Nitro Series, Devin Fair. It's good to have you here. Good to be here with you tonight, sir. We got a lot to talk about, and I do apologize for this because I haven't led anything since I filled in for the Superstar race a few years back at Bristol. So,
hey,
I'll just go ahead and let you take it.
Hey, no worries, bud. We've all been there, and I can't wait to lead the Nitro National Series into the future. You know, it's going to be a bit of a rough ride, but I'm sure we'll get there, and I'm really excited to see what's ahead. But we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Just a few things I want to talk about here. First of all, our points leader, DJ Curtis, he has been struggling this weekend throughout practice and qualifying. They finally got the setup mostly together in practice. He's posted a respectable time, but in qualifying, you should have seen his laps. He qualified in 34th today. He is the last of the Fingai Saitomi cars, and he is well deep in the field, which is a worry for him because his two teammates have qualified in the top two rows, and they are his main competitors, alongside Cody Lamas in the 48, who also struggled during qualifying. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these guys perform tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Meanwhile, you got a few drivers there that have shown promise, not just in this series, but actually have shown themselves to be well in other series. Paul Villalobos, for example, he's got himself a win higher up than he did before he got one here in this series. So that's some momentum going for him. And of course, you got Nathan Stapleton has been showing some flash success. Addis Terzic has had some rotten luck there lately. So hoping for some good things from there, along with Justin Whitmer or Noah Hart as well. There's so many drivers who've had good runs, and so many drivers who are looking to have something to turn their seasons around. So I'm really looking forward to see what we have come about here.
Sure, going to be an interesting race. And with that, we can get right to our starting grid. And starting on pole, as I mentioned, is David Meske. He's hoping for a really good point day today in order to compete with his teammates. He's starting alongside Jake McMillan in the 20, making a part-time start for his own team. In row 2, you have Brandon Smith, who is chasing down DK Curtis, starting in 3rd, alongside Paul Villalobos, as you mentioned, in 4th. And starting in 5th, Nathan Stapleton in the 97, alongside Brayden Varga in the 9. Yadi Serdic for Ferenco starts 7th, alongside Justin Whitmer, who had a really impressive qualifying run in 8th. Noah Hart and Riley Hooper will round out the top 10, and they will be right in front of AJ Zhao in the 98 and Angel Gutierrez in the 72. James, we got a few names up here we're going to talk about. First of all, Cody Goforth in the 64, also making a part-time start for Ferenco. There have been rumblings in the garage lately about his Superstar Series performance. He himself has admitted he is not impressed with how he's been performing, and he's actually considering his options as we come into silly season here. He might be dropping back down to the Nitro National Series. We'll see how he does here. This could determine if he has a future in the National Series.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something. If he can get a good finish here tonight, that could definitely be a confidence booster moving forward. But then there's also I feel for him, I really do, because you've seen you've lapped me a few times in the Superstar Series, so you know how my struggles are going. So I'm right there with him on some of those struggles, just maybe not to the same not the same level, but it's definitely gonna be tough. But then of course you got his teammate there, David Richardson, right there in 15th. Jared Shank, that's a pretty good qualifying effort for him for that one racing team. And there's a lot. Like we said, there's a lot going on here. I'm gonna toot my team's own horn here for a second. I gotta give a shout out to Boston Shaw leading the way for us here to at least start the race.
A couple other names I want to mention in the back of the field. First of all, we mentioned Cody Lama starting in 24th. He's 3rd in the points, needing a good points day, but we'll see how things work out for him here. And you see DJ Curtis back all the way in 37th. He's got a big hill to climb to get to where he needs to be in the where he needs to be to keep his points lead. But other especially because of his teammates starting first and third. He's got a big hill to climb, as well as another surprise, Cameron Lessard in the 54, starting in 41st. He's also got a big hill to climb to get to where he needs to be, and then that should be everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot here to cover here, and obviously, trial and error as we get moving into this new era of one-up competition and broadcasting. So that's what we have for you so far. We'll go and take you to the race. Any stories we didn't cover here in the pre-race, we might be able to bring up going throughout the course of the night. So be listening for those as you pay attention to where your favorite driver goes coming up.
David Metzke, Jake McMillan bring it down to the green flag, a full field of 42 cars here in the Nitro National Series as we return to racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Green flag is out. We are underway from Charlotte.
Great launch from Metzke there as well as Smith. We see they're doing really well here. Stapleton trying to follow them through. It looks like he's going to. McMillan did not get going there, and as a result, that's messed up Villalobos and everybody else behind him on the high side.
McMillan struggling there on the high side. He's going to have a lot to do to defend off Villalobos and Turtis behind him. And Brandon Smith now going through the lead under his teammate David Metzke. David Stapleton right there behind him, ready to pounce.
Yeah, you wouldn't think they were teammates in the same number styles and the same manufacturer, the way they're racing already, but looks like it's going to be Metzke holding on for that first lap lead.
Right behind them, Villalobos, McMillan side by side, that's for fourth position. And right behind them, Braden Varga, Yanis Terzic side by side, that's for sixth.
And like I said, Terzic needs a good run. He's not had the best of luck lately, but looking at all these other drivers here, you see AJ Zhao had an up and down season so far. Been similar, and of course that team, that number has a win in the truck series so far this year. It's kind of an upset there given the driver, but keep that team's momentum up here in the Nitro series.
For third place, Jake McMillan dives underneath Nathan Stapleton at 97. He gets that position. Here comes Paul Villalobos trying to follow through underneath him. Braden Varga as well.
Stapleton's, well, he had a good launch, but he got put on the high side. Now everybody's trying to get by him, but he might have a gap here if he can get before Noah Hart catches up.
Indeed, we see Yanis Terzic back here in the 57. He's been looking for a good run all year. He may finally have it here. This team indeed a good run. They are currently outside the top 30 in points going into the race. Terzic has not had a good stream of luck lately. If he can find something here, maybe he can finally get back into that top 30.
That would definitely be a big boost for Terzic, and honestly, as a team owner who's having similar struggles with keeping cars locked in the Superstar Series, I can sympathize with what that team's dealing with. It's not fun trying to fight your way to be locked in. And speaking of fights, we got to fight for the lead again.
Brandon Smith had a look underneath Metzke, but there was nothing there. Jake McMillan trying to find a way past Smith. He's gonna have a look, but there is nothing there. Top 6 or 7 cars, all single file, bumper to bumper.
It's like a little freight train here right now. Might be joined by Terzic here soon. It's kind of settling out just a little, but I wouldn't consider that to be too. I wouldn't get too content if I were the top 6, because one of them moves out of line and it could easily shuffle everything all up again.
Top 5 nose to tail right now, and now people are starting to jump out of line. Brandon Smith having another look underneath Metzke, but I don't think there's going to be anything there. That outside lane can be really strong here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as Metzke just demonstrated there, being able to defend off Smith and this whole train of cars behind him.
Metzke has a strong car, but I don't know what it is. It's strong enough to hold off the rest of the field, but not strong enough to pull away just yet. We're going to find out just what kind of car he has in the long run as Stapleton tries to regain one of the spots he lost.
Underneath Paul Villalobos, that's to the 4th position. Villalobos looking like he's going to defend on that high lane. He's going to pick up the drive to Jake McMillan here. Nathan Stapleton still side by side with him, as we see Terzic now trying to get a run on Braden Varga. That's for 6th position. Justin Whitmer and AJ Zhao trying to join this fight as well. AJ Zhao, he started all the way back in 11th. He's already up here looking at maybe even a top 5 here before the end of this one.
That would be big for him. As like we said, it's been an up and down season for him. That would be big if he could get up here and be a contender for the race win. And it's just it's real good to see this early on. But again, we're only on lap 9, coming to lap 10 of 70. So I wouldn't be too enthused just yet. But this is definitely an encouraging sign so far for Zhao.
As is for Justin Whitmer, who's side by side with Turzich now. Turzich clearly must have gotten loose or something off of Braden Varga because he's falling way back and into the clutches of Justin Whitmer. As we see more battles up here, these guys trying to go 2 by 2. Smith had a look underneath Mesky, nothing there. Pablo Lobos looking into McMillan, he actually had a run here.
And Varga trying to take a peek under Stapleton. And I would say watch out now because these guys get the fight. I mean, those Turzich got a little loose. That slowed down Whitmer and Zach. For a minute there, it looked like Hart and Hooper were going to join the fight, but it looks like that gap has stabilized for the moment.
And Stapleton's going to get back in line here. Here comes Turzich now underneath Varga once again for that position. Justin Whitmer, AJ Zhao, all looking to fight up here for the top 5, top 10 positions here.
And Turzich is doing everything he can to ensure he stays in the top 10 because even just the top 10 would feel good right now. And you know that would be something we're celebrating. Like I said, how luck he's had.
Couple of the guys back there looking to get up here. There's Noah Hart in the 18 car, as well as Riley Cooper in the 69 having a group run up here, and Ryan Arnold up to 12th now after starting about 15th, 16th position. He's having a good run as well for that 01 team. As we look back up here now, here comes Brandon Smith once again underneath Mesky, but that high lane has proven to be successful all day for that 92 car. He's got the momentum, and he's going to take that position back from Smith.
And it looks like McMillan's trying to see if he can make it work, with nothing for it there at the moment. Like I said, that 29 is just strong enough to hold everyone at bay, but not strong enough to pull away. So I don't think he's going to complain, though. If he can hold everyone off and make this work out for a victory, I don't think he's going to be too upset how he did it.
Right now it is Mesky up front with Brandon Smith second, Jake McCullough third, Stapleton, Villalobos round out the top 5, Turzich, Varga, Whitmer, and AJ Zhao all still up here in this battle as we got a battle now for the top 10 position. Riley Cooper looking underneath Noah Hart with that position, Ryan Arnold in the 01 looking back there as well.
Yeah, Arnold looking for a decent run. Not been a terrible season to my recollection for Arnold, but not been the greatest either. So a top 10 run would be a big confidence boost, though not as big a confidence boost as it would be for, I believe if I remember correctly, that's his teammate up there in the 57.
Noah Hart defends them for the time being. Meanwhile, up front it is all going down here. Stapleton trying to defend off Villalobos for 4th, who's made it to the high lane. He's going to get that position here. Guys, Turzich trying to follow him through, but there's nothing there. Varga has fallen back into the clutches of Justin Whitmer and AJ Zhao.
Yeah, it's a little bit coming and going here. It's not quite the level as what you feel like in or Talladega, but this little group right here, with the exception of the top 3, seems to have been playing musical positions just a little bit here, minus the music.
Back up front, it's still David Mesky leading with Brandon Smith, Jake McMullen right behind them looking for that lead. Paul Villalobos looking back there as well. We look back to the field a little bit. There's the battle for 10th. Riley Cooper gets past Noah Hart now, and Ryan Arnold's going to try to go with him.
Yeah, as you look back there a little bit further, you see Andrew Langley hanging back there a little bit, leading the pack there, which includes Chris Lattimore, as we get looking into Gutierrez, Go Forth, and a few others. It's a decent little cluster here. Speaking of drivers back there that have struggled, I knew it wasn't going to take long. They're still in place to go, but there they are. Cody Lama and DJ Curtis started pretty far back in the field. They're trying to make their way up there and rebound from that terrible start.
They're both in the top 20 now, looking for more here as they go up to the 77 of don't know who that is. We'll know after now. There's David
Actually,
Richardson in the 10 car who they're going after. And here's Jarrett Shank. Like we mentioned, he's having a pretty decent run up here in the top 20. That team's really needed it. This could give them the momentum they need to get into a position where they can qualify for these races.
This will be a confidence booster regardless. If a top 20 for teams like this can be considered a win, or like a top 10 or top 5, which it's usually worth celebrating. And I wholeheartedly believe that if this can boost their confidence, maybe they'll start finding something and be able to be more contender every week.
Indeed, as we go back up here to the front, Jake McMillan once again defending a challenge from Paul Villalobos. Nathan Stapleton now looking to take advantage of Villalobos slowing down. He's going to get to that inside lane. Turgich, and now AJ Dow is up here. He's gotten past Braden Barga and Justin Wimmer, who are side by side, and now he's up here looking for a top 5, maybe even the lead.
And just got a little harder to get the lead, especially considering the defense that Metzke's been putting on here so far. But this is really good for both Turzic and Zappa as they battle for position against each other. Really looking forward to I'm really enjoying the fact that they're up here being able to contend like this. But I gotta be careful how much I praise them, because there has been that statement of the commentator's curse.
Indeed, but we see a battle for the lead now. Smith looked underneath Metzke, he found nothing there. McMillan not able to take advantage once again in that 20 car. Paul Villalobos, and now AJ Zhao's gotten past Stapleton and Turzic in that exchange. He's now on the back bumper of Paul Villalobos in the 66.
And he's looking to become the top Chevy driver right now, because, well, he's been marching. I mean, he's which isn't that far back compared to Lamas and Curtis, but he's certainly trying to make himself, making sure people remember that not only does he exist, but that he can get the job done.
As he looked underneath Paul Villalobos for 4th place, AJ Zhao having a really strong run up here for that 98 team. Nathan Stapleton looking once again behind them in the 97. He is also having a pretty strong run for that team. As they got Turgic in the 57. And now the top 7 once again nose to tail. And as I say that, here comes AJ Zhao underneath Villalobos.
Yeah, he wants to keep moving, and with a little bit of draft from Stapleton, he might be able to get but he's not quite clear. Villalobos catching up alongside.
Side by side, 98, 66, 2 different teams, both under the Chevy banner, as Zhao now clears Villalobos in the 66. That is the 4th position. Now he's looking to podium dead in the eye. He's going to have to get past McMillan to get there, and if he wants to win, he's got two strong fit Tomy cars to deal with.
And that's the big thing, especially the lead of those 3. If he can get Millen and Smith, and if I ski more power to him, but right now he's stuck behind him as much as the other 2 ahead of him are.
Smith now looking underneath Metzke once again. He might actually have a nose underneath here as Dick McMillan's there. Here comes AJ Zhao in the 98. We're going 2 by 2 for the race lead and for 3rd place. And Paul Villalobos also looking to take advantage in that 66. Stapleton and Turzic are back there as well.
This is the longest that Smith has been able to hold the inside of his teammate. I think it helps that he's got a little bit of a drift from Zach behind him, and I think it looks like we could at least briefly have our first. Yeah, we're going to have our first lead change of the night.
Brandon Smith has taken the lead from Metzke. He led that lap, but can he lead the next point? Can he clear the 29 is the question, because that 29 still seems to be strong on that outside lane. And AJ Zhao still underneath Jake McMillan, but he's starting to fall back. McMillan clears the 98. The 29 has not quite cleared the 92 yet, but he might have it here coming off this corner.
And he's got drafting help from the 20, that maybe had help from the 20, but yeah, he's losing it right now, but it didn't help for long, because here comes Zach again trying to get back inside the 20.
Still 2 by 2, 1st and 3rd, and Paul Villalobos is up here as well. As we come up to lap 29 this time by, Brandon Smith still side by side with Meske. These two are not willing to give it up anytime soon as Zhao now clears McMillan. Villalobos looking to take advantage as well in that 66 car, but now AJ Zhao looking at these two Fingash and Tony cars. He wants the lead.
Yeah, he wants to break the stranglehold that FBM has had on this race so far, and he's right there. He has a shot, but he has to get Smith clear of Meske in order to have a shot at it, because I haven't seen anyone actually dare try to go 3 wide. I'd be cautious to say go ahead, go for it, because we don't know what it could do.
As I think Smith is going to have Meske clear here going into turn 1. Look at Villalobos. He tried to take him 3 wide there for the second position, but there's nothing there. Meske gets out a little wide, and Smith clears Meske this time. New leader, number 92.
That's the first lead change that has... I mean, obviously Smith left already, but now it's not FPM 1-2 anymore. Now they got to deal with the 98. Like I said, Zhao's got something to prove. He wants to do something. He wants to have a good run, and by golly, he's having a good run right now.
Top 3 still no to tail. Meanwhile, Paul Villalobos has gotten his way back up to 4th. Jake McMillan falling back in that 20 car. He's falling into the clutches of Nathan Stapleton. That's for the 5th position. Yadi Turzic is still here, as has Braden Barker, Justin Wimmer, and Ryan Arnold to adventure this battle, as has Riley Hooper in that 69 car.
I've noticed that Noah Hart has dropped off there a little bit. He's no longer in this picture. That's it's kind of a shame because he was having a good charge up here, but that's big for Ryan Arnold here as he takes another spot away, or tries to at least.
This group back here, they could be battling for a top 10. As Justin Whitmer has it at the moment. Ryan Arnold up here, as is the 69, Riley Hooper. Dick McMillan now side by side with Stapleton. He's going to try to clear him up here. Yannick Turzic is also in this battle, as is Braden Varga and Justin Whitmer side by side now for the 8th position, I believe. Ryan Arnold and Riley Hooper also looking into this battle.
Yeah, this is no longer a 6-7 man battle or run for the lead. It is now 4 for the lead and the rest fighting for the remaining spots in the top 10. But this has been a good day here as we see Meske trying to find his way back by the 98 again.
He gets to the inside, but we've seen that outside lane be strong. I wonder if the 98 might be struggling a bit here if he's used up his stuff a bit, but he has his Chevy teammate Paul Villalobos right behind him, and he's going to try to use that momentum to clear David Meske into the corner. Meske's still there though. That outside lane can be pretty strong. They're side by side for second.
Again, but yeah, that 98 is doing what the 92 or the 29 was doing earlier, holding everybody up by using that high line to lock everybody down. But now, what the difference here is, Villalobos has found something up there in the draft of Zhao as he's trying to get by the 29 of Meske.
That's side by side for 4th place at the moment. Villalobos, actually that's 3rd place. Villalobos, David Meske. Villalobos are going to enter the top 3 for, I believe, the 1st or 2nd time tonight. He's got him clear, and here comes AJ Zhao underneath Brandon Smith for the lead.
Yeah, like I said, he wants something. He wants his. He's got something to prove. He wants to do it. He wants this win. He's got to make sure that people remember that he's not just one of those who has good runs and then the results don't show it. But he's still. It's like what happened with Meske earlier. Nobody seems to be able to get by Smith at the moment.
Right now, he is on the tail of the 92, as is Paul Villalobos and David Meske re-entering this battle, along with Jake McMillan, who's back there in 5th. We're looking back here at a top 10 battle with Turzic, Whitmer, Varga, Arnold, and Riley Hooper, all a part of it.
Yeah, and it's this nice little cluster here is just trying to mind their own business, shuffle around, see who can be in the top 10 and who's going to odd man out. Although we're just past halfway, so this is the point where you don't want to hold back too much if you've been holding back all night so far. But I don't know. There's some of these guys that I don't know if they've got enough to catch up to the top four.
We do have word, by the way, that the 44 Tegan Fox has gone behind the wall with an engine issue. They will not be finishing this night. Coming back up here to the lead battle, it's between Brandon Smith, AJ Dow at the moment, but Paul Villalobos and David Metzger are right there. And AJ Dow having a look once again. He might have something for the 92 this time.
Yeah, but if these two get together or something happens and these two get loose, Villalobos is going to be going ahead and trying to make a move, because all he has left now in terms of winning in the top 3 divisions of 1-Up is get that Nitro win, which, you know, one would have expected him to get the Nitro win before the Superstar win, but things played out a little differently, which, you know, like I said, that's momentum, and he's trying to use it any way he can.
And now for third place, Paul Villalobos, David Minsky side by side. Villalobos actually had a nose on AJ Dow for second there, but there was not anything to be found there. But Minsky might have something for the 66 car. He's trying to get third place from Paul Villalobos, and Dick McMillan also back here trying to enter this battle.
Yeah, as we're looking here, the field has gotten pretty well spread out. They're like in little clusters here and there. Some single cars here and there, but a lot of little clusters of cars here. It's like what we've been seeing at the top 10. You've seen it back in like the remainder of the top 20, but I'm still very, very impressed with the runs that we're seeing here. You see Lattimore, you see Gutierrez, you see the 38 of Jonesman. DJ Curtis and Cody Lama seem to have stalled out a little bit here, but
yeah, they have not gained
I wouldn't say that this isn't without trying.
Yeah, they've not gained any momentum at all, and that's bad for DJ Curtis, because his closest rival, Brandon Smith, he is leading this one. So DJ Curtis now has to hit the go pedal if he wants to get back up there into that lead fight. And Cody, as well as Cody Lama, if he wants to keep that third place and possibly challenge the Finn Guy cars. But right now, them being side by side right here, that's not going to help them.
Not at all. And you see Jared Shank back there still hanging on to a good top spot. And you got Eric DeMax back there as well. In the back of the field here. There's the 54. There's Lassard. Not the charge he was looking for, but certainly better than where he was. But I'd say it's a decent rally, even if it falls up short of where he'd like to be. You got to give him props for making an effort.
Yeah, and same with all these guys making an effort. I'm noticing some of the Vice Valley cars are actually doing at least semi decently, at least hanging on to the top 35, as we see the Vice Valley teammates back here of Ancelotti and I believe that's Chandler Daniel in the 19. See where your favorite driver is as we scroll back through the field. And once again, right here for the lead, AJ Dow underneath Brandon Smith. Not much there for them. I'm kind of wondering at this point if they're set up for alternate lines. Like maybe the Finn Guy Saitomi cars are set up for the outside, while this 98 is set up on for the inside, and that's why AJ Dow is able to get these runs off the corners and get side by side with these Finn Guy cars. But these Ford set up for the high side here, it's actually kind of helping them in the long run.
Very possible that's how it could be, but I don't know. It just seems like all three of these cars, actually all four of them, are pretty good cars. It's just that each one is they're not able to find an advantage. They just equal themselves out, it seems like.
Absolutely. We see the top four have kind of gotten spread out a little bit now, but we know that's going to compress once again as AJ's out back on the back bumper of Brandon Smith. Here's Dick McMillan in fifth once again. And now that these guys have gotten a little bit spread out, we can see what everybody kind of has. Like Nathan Stapleton hanging out in sixth, Turkish seventh. Ryan Arnold has gotten all the way up to eighth. A really good run for that 01 team, who's really hoping to make a splash here in Charlotte. Braden Bargan and Justin Whitmer round out in the top 10 at the moment. Look back through some of the field here. Here's Chris Lattimore, as you mentioned, in the 3. Andrew Langley, Angel Gutierrez. And here's Cody Goforth in the 64, hanging on to a top 15 at the moment. So that might not last, because here comes the 38 and the 22, DJ Curtis.
And you got Wyatt Junkman there, and DJ Curtis, like you said, and Cody Lamas all trying to get by him. But it seems like the FPM cars up in the lead group, Goforth is able to hang on just that much and not give and deny Jonesman an advanced in position.
We come back to the front now. This is the battle we want to pay attention to because AJ Zhao's got a really good car set up here, but I think Brandon Smith does as well. These two being so evenly matched, that could be the difference maker here in this one. Brandon Smith obviously going for his second win, while AJ Zhao going for his first, I believe, in his career in NNS. As he's trying to look down to the inside of Brandon Smith once again, so there's not much there. Here he comes once again. This could be it right here.
Yeah, he's side by side. He's about even. He's actually got a nose on him this time. This is how Smith got the lead away from teammate Mesky, who's currently drafting in his trail right behind him. But Mesky might have a say in what happens between these two ahead of him.
AJ Zhao still side by side with Brandon Smith, but he's not quite able to get a nose up on him. And I believe that David Mesky helping AJ Zhao a little bit. Maybe he wants to try to get back to that 92 and try to get at least second from him, if not even the lead from these guys. As we see Paul Villalobos back there as well, trying to get into this battle. Jake McMillan also may have a chance here.
And these guys get side by side enough. McMillan could be back in the hunt for this, and could at the very least salvage a podium out of this, because he was in the podium position for a long time, as we see Zhao falters a little bit and is not able to complete the pass. But
this might actually give Villalobos a chance underneath Mesky here. That's going to be for third once again, and Jake McMillan has also re-entered this battle. As I am also noticing, just up ahead of the leaders, we got some lap traffic here. That is the 58 of Mike White, who's fallen way off the pace. He might actually be an influence in this lead battle if things go on for long enough, as well as the 24 here, Justin Henley.
Yeah, these two are just not having a very good night. Mike White, he made a big statement in a part-time effort last year, but this year he's just been kind of quiet, not having the greatest runs, and unfortunately, the one time tonight at least that we get to talk about him, it's not good news for him.
Nor is it. We're looking back here. We see Farrenco teammates side by side now. You got Turzic, Ryan Arnold trying to battle each other. I believe that's for the 7th position, right in front of Nathan Stapleton, who's now trying to get away from these guys.
Yeah, he was already ahead of him, but they caught him, and now they're getting side by side a little bit. It's giving him a chance to try to run a little bit, as we see Zhao up ahead trying to take the lead again.
But he doesn't quite have a nose underneath Brandon Smith. That car is just too well set up for the high side. But Zhao's going to keep trying, I'm sure, to get this lead away from the 92. He has had a strong car all weekend as well. That 98 team has really shown that they've got what it takes.
Yeah, they are determined. They've got the determination. They've got the drive. They know they're capable of winning. It's just a matter of when they can finish it off. They have a shot right here. If Zhao can't draw even and get a nose on him like he did earlier, as we see Villalobos going after the 29 for third, if Zhao can't do what he did a few laps ago, he may have used up his shot.
He may have, but that 98 still hanging on to Brandon Smith right now. Because Villalobos and Mesky side by side, but it looks like Mesky might clear here, as once again that outside proving its worth. Still, and the Farrenco teammates still side by side right here. As the 01 struggling to get past the 57 of guys Turzic, but Turzic does clear the 01, and the 01 actually loses momentum. That puts him right back into the hands of Braden Varga in the 9.
Varga trying to rebound a little bit here. Might not be able to rebound much, but if he can get by Arnold, that'd be one more spot regained. But it's been pretty smooth for a majority of these drivers. But I mean, obviously we've had a retirement for a mechanical issue, and we've had a couple cars up ahead that might be a factor as we get close to the checkered flag. But so far, it's been a pretty good race.
It has been, and it's gone on long, which means these guys are putting a lot of laps on these tires, and we're not expecting green flag pit stops this race, so these guys are going to be running these all the way to the checkers. As we see right here, the battle for 6th between Stapleton, Turzic, Arnold, and Varga. As the 01 had a look underneath Arnold, but there was nothing there. Braden Varga trying to see if he can take advantage of both of these guys getting side by side.
Yeah, but it seems like they decided single file, at least for the moment, is the way to go. Although I'm not sure they'll be able to do much to catch the lead group, but they're going to give it an effort, I'm sure, if they decide they want to stay in line.
Absolutely. And I think I've just noticed someone down on the apron. We got AJ Zhao and Brandon Smith side by side once again. He had the front. We got Smoker right here. That's David Richardson in the 10 car. He's got a lot of smoke. Seems like something blew up in the car. Is he taking it behind the wall? I believe he is. That team is going to be calling it for the night.
You hate that for him because he's trying to, he got this opportunity with the team. He's been looking for better results, but luck has just not been on his side, and there he is retiring for the night. And that is very unfortunate. That's got to put a little bit of nerves on his teammates, though. All three of the ones that are in the field tonight. Turzic, Arnold, because those are all the same engines there. So I'd say be a little concerned, maybe even Langley and McMillan. But this late in the race, you think the chances of engines expiring for the same program would be slim.
As we see that Curtis and Lamas have not made much progress. Curtis trying to get a position on the 38, but I don't think there's going to be anything there because that 38's got Angel Gutierrez right in front of him, and he's able to use that momentum to get back in front of the 22. And Cody Lama's also trying to take advantage. Here's Jared Shank in the 85, also having a good run, as is the 16 of Eric DeMax, who started way back in the field. He's found his way up to the top 20 as well. So a lot of guys having good nights, but unfortunately with this long green flag run, they stalled out.
Yeah, long green flag runs are not anybody's friend, no matter how good your car is. Once the tires wear out, you just don't have much of a shot, unless of course you get a restart and pit stops or not, you get a chance again. But this is one of those races where, as we're under 10 to go now, that we're at that point where a caution, the closer we get to the finish, could really just end the race.
We're under 10 to go right now, and this lead battle is starting to close up once again. Brandon Smith still holding on to it. He's led since about lap 30. AJ Zhao has been hanging with him ever since then, and he's still trying to get that lead from him. He's had quite a few looks now, and he's going to have another one here. Does David Metzke or Villalobos have anything to say about that?
Yeah, it's go time. He's got to make a move. He's got to do something here. He's got to try to get by Smith before they get to White, because you see him. He's right there, looming in their windshields. Just wait. They're just trying to figure out who is he going to hold up. How is he going to influence this finish? Because there's 4 drivers right here that could be really upset. Each one of them could end up really upset at that 58.
Yeah, they've just about caught the 58, Mike White, at this point, so it's going to be interesting how he influences this battle. But right now, Brandon Smith holding off AJ's out for the moment. Metzke trying to hold off Villalobos, who's still looking for 3rd place from that 29 car, and Jake McMillan also trying to enter this battle.
And he's trying to salvage the podium, like I said, but the top 5 are a little stretched out, other than the top 2. Again, battling for position here, but there's not much for Zhao. He keeps trying, but I don't know. It may take an intervention from a lap car to cause something to happen. But they're not catching him as fast as I thought they were going
to be. Not quite, but he's definitely there, and he's going to influence this finish. In fact, Brandon Smith might have to use that 58 car to hold off the 98, because that 98 is still hounding on Smith, trying to get that lead from him, and he's got a good just about side by side with him. That 92 got to run on the high side. He continues to lead in that 92 car. David Metzke trying to use the high lane as well. He's trying to help his teammate here, Paul Villalobos, also trying to take advantage. And don't forget about Jake McMillan.
Yeah, I think right now it's that time where it's very clear there's Smith in the draft of that 58. And it's a matter of which lane he'll take, who he'll affect. Because we've seen it before in a number of races that lap traffic can hold up certain drivers, and that would cost them the win. That is something Smith done before. As we see, Mesky managed to use the high side to his advantage and regain second.
Yeah, so FPM teammates once again 1-2 with the 58 has now been caught by Brandon Smith. What's he gonna do about it? Is he gonna use the inside lane? Because that could be what losing this race if he tries to get past Mike White down there. He's gonna try it. Mesky's gonna go with him. Are they gonna get past this 58 in time? Is AJ Zhao gonna be able to take advantage of it? What about Paul Villalobos and Jake McMillan? So a lot of questions to be answered, and we're coming up to 3 laps to go, I believe.
And 3 to go, and Mesky going high. I'm not sure that's a good move with the slower 58 up there, but who knows? He could use White's car as a pit. Zhao could be able to do the same thing here. Smith certainly is taking advantage of it.
As is Paul Villalobos, you can see that. You can see him trying to go inside. He's trying to get Mesky wide, and he does get Mesky wide. So Villalobos is actually going to move into the 3rd spot here. AJ Zhao gets back in a second. He might have one more shot at Brandon Smith before this one ends.
2 to go. We'll see. As Zhao and Smith have cleared White, Zhao takes a peek. Smith shuts the door.
Villalobos, I think, had an issue on the inside there. He dropped back a little bit. David Mesky regained 3rd place. McMillan trying for 4th.
Yeah, that's good. That's tough. He was up there doing good, and he's not falling off too far, but that little jump cost him a little bit as we're coming to the white flag.
That was Nick Breen, by the way, into the 99 on pit road. You just saw there. He's probably not going to be finishing this race. Now, still behind Smith as they come through 1 and 2. He's going to have one more shot here as McMillan looks to use the high lane to get past Villalobos for 4th place. Right now, we're focused on this lead battle here.
And Zhao has to try here in 3 and 4 if he wants to have a chance. He's not peaking yet. I don't think he's got it anymore.
Mesky back in the inside of White. Does Zhao have anything? I don't think so. Win number 2 on the season for Brandon Smith here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And pretty much dominating fashion. He didn't lead flag to flag, but he sure led the most laps, and that's a big boost, especially given the struggles of Curtis and Lamas today.
Congratulations to Brandon Smith on winning this race. That is his 2nd win of the season, and by my count, that is the points lead for the 92 of Brandon Smith. So this battle just got a little more interesting. AJ Zhao, oh so close to getting his 1st win, but he'll take a 2nd place after a good run tonight. David Mesky comes home 3rd in that 92. Jake McMillan brings it home 4th, and Nathan Stapleton, Paul Villalobos rounds out the top 5. Nathan Stapleton in 6th. Ryan Arnold brings it home in 7th. Yadish Turzic brings it home in 8th, and rounding out the top 10 are Braden Varga and Justin Whitmer.
That was a pretty good race. It was some good battles for the lead. It just once Smith got the lead, there was no stopping him, honestly, because he just had that good a car. So that was well deserved. He fought for a second, and everybody who tried to take the lead from him kept him honest. So he definitely deserved it.
So once again, a really good race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we thank you for watching this race. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and we thank you very much for your patience as we go through this transitional period, and hopefully the quality of the broadcast will improve as we keep diagnosing technical difficulties and going through the motions, and hopefully by the end of it, it'll be a strong cast by the end of the year. But with that being said, from James Ellison and from myself as well, we thank you so much for watching this broadcast. We'll see you next time as we head to the Hawaiian Islands for hopefully a good day of Pro Course racing action. See you next time.